Hey, what you say?
Thanks for doing the podcast. No problem. Really appreciate it. I wanted to start with a question, but actually you've just raised something before we started about freedom of speech and something that happened to you recently. And it sounds like it's important to talk about. So how do you feel the freedom of speech is for us in society, and what do you think is wrong about it, and what do you want to change about it?
Well, I'd like to have some. I think that would be a good start.
Well, you can say what you want here. So
You see, the thing is, way that squeezes and squeezes, way that squeezes and squeezes and squeezes more and more of what cannot be said. This is what political correctness is about. What is political correctness? It's simply manipulating the target population to silence itself, so those in authority don't have to. It's ridiculous. Now, people say, well, you say that people can say anything. Well, yes, I do. And I'll tell you why. There are laws against incitement to racism, incitement to hatred, incitement to violence. There are laws against that.
Are they laws you agree with?
Yeah, and if people use their freedom of speech to incite those things, then there are laws to deal with that, and those laws should deal with it.
5 words you pronounce wrong 2 years before your brain starts shutting down. Dementia is now known as type 3 diabetes, according to the Mayo Clinic, where doctors have made a shocking discovery that changes everything we know about memory loss and mental decline. So if you or a loved one is often forgetting things or suffering with brain fog, then you must see this. After 3,400 brain scans and years of clinical research, an award-winning brain health expert has just revealed the real root cause of memory loss and dementia. It has nothing to
What I'm saying is, once you start censoring freedom of speech at the point of delivery, or even more sinister, before the point of delivery, by banning people from the right to have access to the communication networks or speak in public, that is what the fascists do.
Yep, that's what the fascists do. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. Hope you're doing well today. This is the second. I left my friend's farm and came to a place that I could get both of my apparati working, and I needed to take care of some things. So I'm off to do that. Oh, look at that! Isn't that? There it is. There it is. Cream. Oh, look at that. Yes. Baby. That's my lunch. Okay. Can you hear me now? I guess I have to hold it here, but grilled cheese. And beef too. Here's what it looks like today. Like that. Yep. There it is. Up in the mountains. Downtown, up in the mountains. Not bad. Beef stew. Oh. Good day to you. Humor of life. Yep. That's a good thing to do. You're a documenter. What point of view are you coming from? So, are you a anthropologist, a psychologist, a sociologist, or are you just an ologist? You know, being a itinerant scholar for about 50 years, I would get involved in things, and then I'd be the guy building the protocol, and then I'd have to do the representation of what we were doing to the money people. And usually my employers would say, you need some authority here. So they give me a degree. So that's why I'm a shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemist. So the shamanism, like any other perspective, was just a worldview. And shamanism is not magic. It's less magical than, let's say, Roman Catholicism. So, or Judaism. And Islam is probably the least of the magical trio of the Abrahamic religion. Because their attitude is pretty much live and let live. And shamanism views the worldview in the moment. Not the past, not the future, the moment. What you're doing right here, right now. Your conscious intent. That's my take on it. And I plug all the rest of the ologies into it. Yeah, they're going up for cheeseburgers. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland. And don't believe a word I say. Just open your mind to the potential. That's good. So psychology is the understanding of another individual's worldview. That's what psychology, right? So they're looking through their eyeballs, which looks through the imaginary mirror behind their eyelids. That's why dreams are so important. You know, that's why this show is called Dreamy Dreamland, right? Because that's really where we are. Where we exist, what's going on. So to understand someone's psychology, you have to understand their sociology. What's that? What they're doing in the seeming material world of society, right? The social world. What their job is, what their religion is, what their sexual preference is, what their hobbies are. Do they like drinking? They come home every night and drink a bottle of booze and crash out, or do they read a book, or what is it? So that's their social structure, and in that conceptual idea of the imaginary mirror, looking through it into their psychology, which is how they represent their dreams in the social world, you also have to look at their history, right? And that's basically grandma, grandpa. Where they came from, what holidays they celebrate, what religion was grandma and grandpa, what foods do they eat, what games do they play, that kind of stuff. What came from the old world that is in their world, right? That's psychosocial. Cultural forensic anthropology. Forensics is taking things apart into threads and looking what the tapestry is by the threads. And sociology was meant, its mission statement is not to be prejudiced about observing the worldview. Well, it is. It was designed to show that white men were superior to everybody else, right? It was one of those things that allowed white, the pyramid structure of psychopaths to control the world, to control you. But when you put all these things together, you actually get a vivid picture. And that's what I've used for the last 50 years. Shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropology, alchemy. And what is that alchemy, right? It is like, taking crass materials to get gold. And the gold we view as a shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic anthropologist is the prana of God, the unconditional love that's sprinkled on us like fairy dust. And we, this bag of water, it's the crass materials. We're a bag of water with a bunch of trace elements in it. That creates a conductivity on a micro and macro level. And that's what your avatar is, right? And if we were to view your avatar from that point of view, you would be able to get a picture. Well, here we are. 14 minutes and 14 seconds into the storyline of this show, right? Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you all. How about those likes? Hey, what's going on?
What did fascists do in Nazi Germany? What does any tyranny do? It wants to silence those that are exposing the tyranny and have a different version of events to the tyranny. So what did the Nazis do? They burned the books. They banned the meetings of people who were exposing the Nazis. And now in this inverted world, we have people who call themselves progressives, and they seem to have this extraordinary self-delusion that progressive mentality has something to do with being liberal, when it's not. The opposite of liberal. They are the ones that claim to be wanting people to be inclusive and to have diversity.
Or maybe on their terms.
When they're destroying diversity, and they have become the new tyranny, they have become the new Nazis. And so
That's quite a strong thing to say.
well, it's actually what I'm saying here is, if you look at what this progressive mentality is doing in silencing people and deciding in their arrogance what people can and cannot say and what opinion they can and cannot have, you look at what the Nazis did. You look at what the communist Soviet Union did in terms of freedom of speech, and you'd show me the difference between them. There is none. And it's this self-deluded arrogance which goes like this. I am right, therefore anyone who says something different must therefore be wrong. And by definition, because they are wrong and I am right, their freedom of speech to be wrong doesn't need to be taken into account. That's how the mentality goes. What I say is, I don't agree with them, I don't agree with them, I don't agree with them. I do agree with them. But I don't...
And good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensie Owl Bob. Here we are, 16 minutes and 16 seconds into the show. Oh, 17 minutes and 17 seconds into the show. And welcome aboard. Don't believe a word you hear on this channel. Check it out for yourself. That's all I'm doing. I mean, just because David Icke says so doesn't mean it's right, but he has the right to say what he's saying. And what I love about David is that he basically gets you to go, I wonder about that. Right? So, when I used to consider myself liberal until I realized that liberals are people who are racist and sexist and all those other ists, but they feel guilty about it. So they'll throw a penny into the can and say, oh, isn't that too bad? Get out of my way. Those people have sympathy. Sympathy is, oh, that's too bad. Get out of my way. I'm in a rush, right? I'm more important than anything else. Get out of my way. Whereas, if you're empathetic, you feel what other people are going through because you're going through it too, and you can empathize. And when you're empathetic, you can actually move forward. Sympathy, because liberal is no, I can't be that. Yeah, then I became a progressive. I'm being progressive. And they just wrote that one too. So now I'm just moving forward, right? Maybe if I run fast enough, they can't catch me, right? But in reality, where I am is a griot. I tell you a story and don't believe a word I say. Right? I'm here to hear what you have to say. There's two of you there. How about another thumbs up? We like those likes. We like like those likes. Remember to subscribe and remember to tell others. Let's get some more folk in the conversation. Let's hear somebody. We have our filmmaker here, filmer of life. Let's hear. We got two of you there. No, there's three. That's enough to have. When more than two come to name together in my name, not my name, but love, right? Love's co-creation, right? So, love to hear from you. I'm kind of in the middle of the maelstream, and I used to be a photojournalist, but I used and a anthropologist and a sociologist. And all of those, one of the major things you do is document what you're observing. Right? Not just using your own prejudice to describe what's going on. You document it, right? Well, I'm just pointing like when everyone has a phone, it's being documented the heck out of it, right? And so that's okay. Everyone's getting a picture. I don't have to.
Crazy talk, crazy talk.
Crazy talk. All I have to do is discuss the issue and bring it forth. And that's why it's a live chat. So how about somebody making some chat here so I can comment on it. Otherwise, I'm going to go. Seemingly, if I keep these shows under 40 minutes, they go up on my channel quicker. And that's good. I got a little feedback. Again, you can make once you watch this. I know most of you folks don't watch this in real time. You watch it later on, I get somewhere between 2 and 12 people watching it live. And maybe when there's 12 people watching it live, there's maybe about 4 people making comments. So, but the rest of you, then the next day I look at the show and I say, oh, there's 35 people watched it. So that about 20 watched it when it wasn't live. And that's understandable. Most of you guys are in lots of different places, different time zones. And I appreciate your interest. Right? And more like, and more comments. You guys need to keep me on my toes. Even though I'm a griot, I'm just telling you a story and don't believe a word I say. It's still good that you keep me on my toes. Right? Oh. Bing bong. Anybody got something to say? Otherwise, when it hits 24:24, I'm going to say au revoir until later. I'll do another show later, maybe 2. But I hope you're well. Be happy. Oh, there's 3 of you there. How about 3 thumbs up? Come on. Anybody got a comment? I'll stick around if anyone's got a comment. Ask me a question. Okay? What's interesting, Donald Trump lies so much that he tells the truth. The girl says nothing, right? And the coach, he just wants to carry the ball. If you think there's any difference between any politician of any stripe, sorry, hate to break that notion, but no, it's not reality, right? We don't live in reality, right? We live in a textualized comic book, right? And it's going to get weirder. That movie, Something Darkly, with Kinney and Woody and what's his name? And they are, they made the movie and then they put a strip over it of like a filter, right? to make you realize that that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the filter. You're not seeing the reality. Something darkly. And it was probably made in the 90s, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Well, anyway. What can I say? But come on, there's three of you. How about some more? Thumbs up. At least two more. And maybe if you three are not the one that put something up, maybe 4 thumbs up. That'd be nice. And how about what can I say? Anyway, so figure out what your filter is, right? And there are good filters and bad filters. Those filters that are pressed on your ingrains and you don't even know it, meaning you've been patterned, and you'll go along with anything. You'll believe anything that is told to you on the nightly news that's in your silo. And I would also suggest that before the internet dies, that you go and go look at, I have at least close to 2,000 shows. I've been doing this now for more than 7 years, give or take. And there's a lot of stuff there. So pick 20 shows out of the 2,000 and just, blah, 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 blah. Bing, like when you go to my channel and if you go to my YouTubes and hit all, they kind of line up in a line and you can just go like this and they'll go blah, 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 like a roulette wheel. And you can pick something up. Pet Boutique. Well, thank you for all those hearts and stars. I love you too. I love you all. All of you in the cadre. But come on, some more likes. Thank you for the comment. But I'm not fishing for sweetiness because I can feel your sweetiness. Because this show is mostly a shamanic pebble into the pond of the World Wide Web. So it's out there. Everyone can watch, right? And, the algorithm, because my puppy dog is AI. No, I'm not stopped from saying anything because don't believe a word I say. And I'm just a storyteller. And so it's all there. You can go check it all out. And that's the beauty of the internet and YouTube and Google is that you can really see what's going on. Most people get stuck in their own little preference of what they want to be going on, and so they only look at that. Kind of boring, and also dangerous, right? And it's not, there's that thing, truth will set you free, truth is power. Well, that's nice, and that's kind of what I was into for a good 40 years, but unless you use that truth, that knowledge, to do something positive, move forward, you're not doing anything. So luckily, I was doing that, and I didn't even know I was doing it, right? So it's why I'm a griot, right? And have been since I was born. That's why I stay alive, I've died 7 times, and I'm still here. And each one of them gave me an interesting perspective, right? 4 of them, I had that life review. I kind of saw everything and said, oh, okay. And then back. And back in a way that really should be dead, but I'm not. And all my doctors, the only reason I have health care is that every doctor who kind of takes care of me is amazed that I'm alive, right? And I got all different kinds. I got bone doctors, I have orthopedic doctors, I have blood doctors, I have a general practitioner who is And so anyway, That's why I'm alive. But the main reason I'm alive is that I'm a griot to love's co-creation. I'm here to do that, right? To assist it, right? I'm not the prime mover. I'm just the moving forward guy, right? So, and whatever I do, whatever I work on, I don't really see it as my place. Oh, I'm the boss. I'm the one. I'm the dude. I stopped being the dude, right? That's why I'm the Sensie Owl Bob, right? And Owl Bob were two names given. Well, all three were given to me, right? So more than the slave name that's imprinted on the page. And I've been around a lot of babies being born because I was a real doula, right? Helping the midwife, right? And I had a friend who's, had two holler folk as meth head drug dealers who had twins. And it was right at the time of Neil Armstrong, one step for man, blah, blah, blah. So they named the children Shitbird and Moonsprocket, right? The boy was named Shitbird and the girl was Moonsprocket, which, a girl could live with that name. That's kind of cute, kind of, Shitbird is like naming the guy Sue, right? But not really. It's, you could take, pride in that, I guess. But what happened was, as we were walking into the hospital, and the water had broken, the kids were coming. The doctor was right there, right? This guy was right there, and the nurse was right there, and they put her in a wheelchair. Anyway, and so we're wheeling him from the car into the delivery room. A bird shit on her, right? Which in indigenous folk motif, that's a harbinger of things. Good luck, bad luck, who knows? And we'll see, right? But it's a harbinger, right? So when the doctor went to put the name down, he said Shitbird, and we were watching the guy walk on the moon, Moonsprocket. And so the doctor said, I don't know, really, you want to name your kids that? And the nurse said, oh, doctor, don't even worry about it. They're just slaves. Those are slave names. And that's, I already knew that your birth certificate was a slave document, right? So I am basically Sensie Owl Bob. So here it is. We're getting close to the time I'm going to say, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Catch you. Bye. Toodles.